Welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. I'm going to do something I normally don't do, review cardio equipment. Today I'll take a closer look at the entire line of Concept2 cardio machines, the rower, the SkiErg, and the newest addition to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews to complete the Concept2 Trifecta, the BikeErg. Each piece has features that are unique, so if you're deciding between one or two of them, or if you want to take the plunge and get all three like I did, I hope this video is helpful. I'm approaching this review from a different perspective than most. I am not a cardio enthusiast. In fact, I don't enjoy extended cardio sessions at all. I find them boring, and I'm not a fan of repetitive movements for extended periods of time. However, I recognize the heart health benefits and use cardio to lose body fat and warm up before strength training. Also, on my rest days, I use these three machines as a circuit for 500 to 1,000 meters apiece. So basically, I have these three machines to complement bodybuilding. There's no point in forcing myself to do 30-minute cardio sessions when I don't enjoy them, and if I don't enjoy them, I won't adhere to them. My wife loves running 8-hour races, but I don't like 8-minute races. Over 2 years ago, I made a video comparing the SkiErg, rower, and the Rogue Echo bike. In that video, I mentioned how much I dislike using the Rogue Echo bike. Although I think it is the best way to get the most intense cardio session in the least amount of time, I truly despise using that machine, and the day I sold it was one of the happiest days of my life. Also, outdoor cardio really isn't for me. I need to limit my sun exposure because I just had skin cancer removed from my shoulder. I got the Concept2 rower in August of 2020, and I was so impressed with it, I got the SkiErg a month later. I had to sell my functional trainer to pay for the SkiErg, but I got it, and I have been happy with both machines since. They are still going strong without any issues. Now the BikeErg is the newest addition to my bonus room. I ordered this on a Sunday and I received it that Wednesday via UPS, an impressive turnaround. I sincerely appreciate a large piece of equipment like this not coming freight because I can't always be here to sign for it. I loved how the bottom corner of the box has the fragile symbol and I have a huge gaping hole in the top of the box with the bike being quite visible. Luckily, everything looked to be in great condition. I really like how Concept2 packs their equipment. Each piece is tightly secured in styrofoam, and the smaller pieces have compartments within the styrofoam. In my younger years, I would have thrown the whole box on my shoulder and carried it inside. It did have a shipping weight of only 80 pounds, but now I'm older and wiser, so I carry my equipment in piece by piece. This was going in the bonus room above my garage, so I had to carry it up an extra flight of stairs. Each piece of the frame is aluminum, so it's lightweight, but at the same time, it feels quite robust. The welds are pretty clean, the feet are steel, and a fair amount of the bike is pre-assembled. For example, only one of the pedals needs to be assembled. There are 16 easily digestible steps, some super simple and some slightly more involved. The bike is largely held together by small but heavy-duty bolts that are driven into pre-threaded holes. Some of the foam pieces within the box are used to make assembly easier, especially if solo. Luckily, I had the help of my incredibly intelligent wife. All of the tools needed for assembly are included. This piece right here being an example, it serves multiple purposes. It can hold your phone, tablet, but it also serves as a wrench during assembly. It's been a while since I assembled the rower and SkiErg, but I think the BikeErg took a little bit longer. With that said, it was still a fairly easy piece to assemble. As I've come to expect from Concept2, the machine was packed perfectly and the assembled product looks great. As I've come to expect from Rogue, shipping was fast and free of hiccups. As a reviewer, Rogue is really hard to beat in terms of customer service. Their equipment is exceptionally well made. I appreciate most of their pieces are made in the USA. I do think they are in need of some new or updated products. On a personal note, I feel pretty dismissed by Rogue. No one was a bigger ambassador of the Rhino than me. With all of my Rhino videos combined, I have well over 200,000 views in 2 years, and I know I helped sell quite a few Rhinos. Sadly, for my channel, Rogue never once acknowledged anything I ever did. On a happier note, I will mention I had another company reach out to me who makes skiers, rowers, and bikes. They offered to send me one in exchange for a review, and I declined. I can't showcase a knockoff product that is only $100 or $200 less than the Concept2 when it's not on sale. I can't, in good conscience, then try to convince you that it's a decent substitute and ask you to use my affiliate link to make the purchase. I am not an affiliate for Rogue or any cardio company, so I am not trying to sell you on anything. I'm just showing what I think is the best BikeErg, rower, and SkiErg. I'm sure the knockoffs are good, and they'll meet most people's needs perfectly. But when there isn't that big of a price difference, I want the cardio pieces that are battle tested and prevalent in nearly every commercial gym and CrossFit box. I've never seen or heard of one of the knockoffs in commercial gyms. That's not to say they're not there, I just never heard of it or seen it. Also, Concept2 has a high resale value, and if any of the three machines are ever listed on Marketplace for a decent price, they won't last long. Furthermore, Concept2's manufacturing facility is in Vermont. They've been in business for roughly 40 years, and replacement parts can be easily ordered on their website. Maybe I'm a sucker for not taking the free bike I could have gotten in exchange for a review, but I've always said I'll only review a product if it's something that truly interests me and something I would want in my home gym. This may not be the best business strategy for my channel, but I think it's what separates me from others and adds authenticity to my reviews. So instead of a free product, I got what I really wanted because I love uniformity and I think it looks cool to see all three Concept2 pieces together. I did have to sell my Signature Fitness hip thrust machine for $200 to help pay for the bike, and my wife wasn't happy about the hip thrust leaving, but I've always had to sell equipment to make room for new reviews. About a year ago, shortly after my wife's hip surgery, her physical therapist recommended she incorporate some cycling. Back then, we picked up a Sunny Spin bike from Amazon for about $200. I was actually impressed with the quality of the bike, and I thought it was a solid budget option. I never did a full review for it, but for most people, the Sunny bike will meet their needs perfectly. I ended up just giving it to my dad. Now, if you want the best bike in its class with the ability to use apps, play games, take online group classes, interact with a larger community, and get a lot of meaningful data from the monitor, and if you're willing to spend the extra money, the Concept2 BikeErg is on another level, as are all of the Concept2 pieces. If you go to Amazon, Rogue, or any place where people leave reviews, it's rare to see a negative word about Concept2. After my wife and I finished assembling the bike, she tested it first and she said that it feels a lot better than the bikes that she uses as physical therapy. Once I tried it, I could also tell that it offers a higher quality ride when compared to other stationary bikes. Keep in mind, I've worked at multiple gyms and I've tried quite a few stationary bikes. With the Concept2, I felt a good quad burn and I found the body position comfortable. I will note I am not a cyclist, so my experience is somewhat limited. I rode BMX when I was younger, I could do a few tricks, and I watched the movie Rad about 15 times, but that doesn't make me an expert. I've never been on a road bike and I have no desire to, but on lower body lifting days, this is an excellent way to warm up and a great way to conclude the training session. It allows me to completely rest my upper body, and if I ever injure my shoulder, for example, this, unlike the rower and SkiErg, will allow me to continue to move. I do like that I can sit upright and pedal without touching the handlebars, and this wasn't really ideal on the Rogue Echo bike. Of all the Concept2 pieces, this one offers the most adjustment points at 4. The handlebars can go forwards, backwards, up and down. The saddle, or as I call it, the seat, can raise up and down. And with a wrench, I can move the seat forwards and backwards. All of the adjustments are fairly smooth. In some ways, having all of these adjustments is great, but I have noticed some wobble on the handlebars. Nothing that's a deal breaker, but something that is worth noting. It's not seamless to adjust the damper from a seated position, but it is doable. I do think, however, most people set it and forget it. Both my wife and I noticed there isn't that dead spot when pedaling on the Concept2 that is sometimes apparent on some stationary bikes. As a result, the resistance throughout the pedal's revolution feels very consistent, especially when seated, and almost nearly as good when standing. The flywheel is just a higher quality feel than stationary bikes that have a brake that gets tightened to increase the difficulty. Luckily, the bike offers customization with the ability to change out the handlebars, pedals, and seat, although I won't be doing any of that. I can also add toe clips and a water bottle holder, but I won't need that because I won't be on here long enough to get thirsty. This was shipped to my door for $1,200. It is incredibly compact and quiet when compared to the Rogue Echo bike. It only has a footprint of 4 feet by 2 feet, and it's lightweight at 65 pounds with a max weight capacity of 350 pounds. The SkiErg is the most fun to use of the 3 Concept2 pieces. It's the only weight-bearing option of the 3, so it's good for bone density. It's also good for someone in a wheelchair or for someone who has sustained a leg injury because the SkiErg accepts add-on handles to allow the user to ski from a seated position. If the floor stand isn't needed, this is the least expensive of the 3 at $950, and if the floor stand is needed, it becomes the most expensive at $1,234. In my bonus room, I had to get the stand, and even if I had a place to mount it on the wall, I probably wouldn't, even though it would take up less space. Even with the stand, it only takes up 7.5 feet by 4.5 feet by 2 feet. There are no settings other than the damper, so it's just grab the handles and ski. I would like for these cords to be black so they don't show dirt as much, but being that they're white, it will make seeing when it's time to replace them a little bit easier. I really like to use the SkiErg on my chest and shoulder training days to warm up and conclude my push workouts. Based on the number of reviews on Rogue's webpage, the rower is the most popular Concept 2 piece. This is the Model D, and of all the Concept 2 machines, this one uses the most muscle groups, but it also takes up the most space at 8 feet by 2 feet. It can be stored upright, just not in here, and it can be broken down into 2 pieces pretty easily. It only weighs 57 pounds, but it has a max weight capacity of 500 pounds. The rower is an excellent way to warm up and conclude my back and trap training days. The bar can be swapped out if another grip is preferred, but I'm good with the bar that comes stock. With shipping and taxes, this comes in at $1,100, and it's the least expensive of Concept 2 pieces if the stand is in purchase with the SkiErg. Each piece is low impact and different enough to have all three if you choose to go all out like I did. While the movements are different from one another, I like that there is consistency between each machine's build, which largely comes down to the damper. When closed, the exercise is easier, and as the damper is moved to 10 and more air enters the fan, the exercise becomes more difficult. I can also increase the difficulty by pedaling, skiing, and rowing faster, which also makes the fan louder. But I still don't think any of the machines are excessively loud. Here's what they sound like. Hopefully this will give you an idea how loud each one is. I have all of the dampers set at 7. For a bike, I don't think that seat is too uncomfortable. And I don't think this rower seat is too uncomfortable either. After going back and listening to the video, I think the camera makes it sound a whole lot louder than what it is in real life. I also really like the PM5 performance monitor. Once you learn how to work one, you know how to work them all. They provide a tremendous amount of information, including splits, calories burned per hour, distance, watts measured, and enough data to make a 25-minute video on the monitor alone. The PM5 is Bluetooth enabled, data can be stored to a USB drive, and workouts are stored within the PM5's memory. The PM5 can connect to the Concept2 Trifecta data app and third-party apps like Zwift. While these features are cool, I probably won't take advantage of any of them, at least not in this season of my life, but I love that it's an option. Each machine has a 5-year limited warranty on the frame and a 2-year limited warranty on parts. Concept2 has a recommended maintenance schedule, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't opened up the damper since owning the rower or SkiErg, although I need to put it on my to-do list. I have, however, oiled the rower's chain and wiped down the track, but that's about it. I like that all three machines are lightweight and have wheels to make transporting them easier. It's also great that they're battery operated and don't need to be close to an outlet. So if I had to recommend just one, I think the rower is the most bang for your buck. And based on reviews, it is Concept2's most popular piece. With that said, I think the SkiErg is the most fun to use and one of the only cardio machines that's more upper body than lower body. However, if I wanted to do long cardio sessions, which I don't, I would either choose the rower or BikeErg, especially if I wanted to watch TV or a movie, which isn't very easy to do on the SkiErg. If you don't have high ceilings, and if you're working with a small space, the BikeErg is probably the best option. I think most people will likely get the cardio piece that mirrors their preferred sport or hobby most closely, but another idea is to get the one that is the complete opposite of your normal hobby. So if you cycle outdoors a lot, for example, the SkiErg would offer a lot of variety into your training. Or if you're like me and just love bodybuilding, any or all of these can be a great addition to complement your strength training routine. Thanks for watching. I have some affiliate links on my main YouTube page. If any of my videos have helped you, please consider using one of my affiliate links at no additional cost to you. Take care.